lot of questions have come. The first is from Bharat Raj in Facebook. How can I get into the face of that inner consciousness? Can it be achieved through meditation or through yogic practices?
See, reality is that it is the like in any field of life. You go to some person, a teacher, and then he tells you something, what he has experienced in any field. So, teacher is important there. Meditation, yes, these are all means. Everything is a means. Even in the later stage, you yourself becomes the means because you get to know to your reality that this body has been given you to realize your true self. So that way, from the living person only, when we get connected, and then he tells, no, this is my seen path, you start doing this practice, then you get to that inner reality. Because that treasure is already within you. Only you are looking for the way how to reach to my own treasure. So somebody who has seen treasure, he only can guide us.
Um, Thank you, Guruji. The next question again is from Facebook from Ajay Raj ji. Hello, Kishorji. Namaste. It was nice. It was nice to act with you. I am sure you are a very spiritual person. But I gave you a question. How do you, as an actor, keep your calm in stressful situation? As actors or humans too.
Yeah, this is really told. Without knowing, unknowingly, I think if I am human, others are also human. So, stressful situations build up because of the kind of work we do. When we work with others, we can't expect others also to be like us, and we can't think that they also should think like us. And what I think, as you rightly said, when I keep telling, if I say this today, and if this is my right today, this can be my wrong also tomorrow. So, if we maybe I was unconsciously or unknowingly aware of a little bit aware of that. Maybe that's why I'm able to handle a few stressful situations. I also give up. If I can't, I give up. If I have to get angry, I get angry. So stressful situations will be there in everybody's life, and we I think through our experiences and awareness about ourselves, we somehow learn to handle them. I think. I think you will be the better person to answer all these questions.
Next question is from Srinivasan. He said he's a big fan of yours for the roles you played in Tamil movies. Very sensible roles, he says. So many actors always link themselves with politics. We see very limited number of actors or celebrities getting into farming. What made you to take farming over acting?
Nowadays, a lot of people are getting into farming, and as you said again, maybe they're looking into themselves and they're finding that this is a better activity to do than what we are doing. Because I took up acting farming because I felt farming was a very peaceful thing to do because I had natural forces to work with, very little human intervention, very little human angle to it, so that I don't handle all that stress that is created by humans. Because again, I'll be handling humans and I'll be expecting them to be like me, and that'll not happen. But in nature, you're no one actually. You are the other person. So nature is in control. You are the other person. So you have to create stress to the nature and bear whatever it gives you back. So there was no discrimination because nature doesn't discriminate between anyone. You are a small actor, big actor, new actor, old actor, or whatever you are. It doesn't discriminate. It gives the same to everyone. Give back whatever you give it to. Give it whatever effort you put in, and in many wonderful ways too. And it is. I don't have words, and I don't have that much control over English to express all those feelings that nature has given me. So nature in the sense, nature on the whole. Yeah. So it is. It has been, I think, best work partner, to be precise. So I love my work partner, so I'm there working with it.
This is from Krishnamurti. As a culture, we Indians have grown up revering wild animals as vehicles of our gods, where even trees are worshipped. It's our fundamental duty to protect the natural environment. We have wildlife as our national symbols. In spite of all this, we continue to abuse our environment. How do you see spirituality changing this?
Spirituality has a very clear vision. Spirituality means having a clear vision. So, in that, everybody has its place. Nothing is out of place. Now, who is making things out of place? If you see, it is human being. Maximum contribution is that of human being to putting things out of order. You remember recently, 2 years back around, this case of Avani the tiger happened in Maharashtra. She was mother of 2 small kids and she was declared man-eaters. Yet, of course, she became man-eaters, that's why it is not any current view. But question I am trying to raise is there, you should look through it like this, that she used to come to human habitat around that area to look for the food. So you have encroached to such an extent her habitat that she has no way but to survive to come out of it. So who is creating this? So when we say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya, that is the spirituality, that let all be happy. So if you are encroaching too much on the habitat of the other, then when they become violent, is it not a natural reaction? How to handle this? So all of us have to sit together and think about it, that how to preserve nature. Where is that middle ground today that we preserve the nature in every way possible so that we survive? Believe me, as I said last time in the last position, that if you destroy so much nature, nature will still survive, we will not survive. So we have to be clear about this, that now you are, because you are surviving, because you means all of us, we are surviving, we are making such statements. But tomorrow when the situation changes because of your access, then you will not have even your voice to say anything, because the things would have gone out of your hands. So today if you learn, as you can say, we call it butterfly effect. Even a small butterfly flutters its wings, it wings avalanche in another part of the world. So such way nature is created, handle it with sensitivity. As Kishore is saying, the things he gets when he is doing farming, he cannot even express in words. That is what called living in the vicinity of nature. You see entirely different world there. Your view changes about that. Sitting in the cities, you don't see. When you are looking it through screens, it is not the real view you are getting. You are getting just an image. When you go to the jungle and see real, go to the farming and see reality, and you take responsibility that I will be part of the solution, then things change. So there is no one solution to all. You have to become part of the solution in your wherever your area of influence is, and the same communication, articulation reaches to the another area, and then they articulate it according to their locality. So this way the same message is spread, and then we all can live together within our own maryada, dignities. Otherwise these boundaries are so fissile, anytime they may go by.
Yes, as you said, the awareness is the main thing lacking, and this abuse and encouragement is because of overconsumption. Because as everyone says, learned people say that nature can give for man's need, but not for his greed. So we have been very greedy and we have been encroaching on everything, consuming everything. And I read in a review that Bangalore wastes almost 50% of its food every day. So 50% of food is 50% more. 50% of those people who used to get, who were supposed to get food is being wasted. That food anyway will go back to nature only. It will return back to nature only. But it is supposed to complete its journey. So if it completes its journey, the pressure on nature will be less. As a farmer, we actually handle that pressure, because when people consume more, we are supposed to produce more. and we are supposed to produce all those things which was not there at all before. Now the food practices have changed, the population has migrated, all this is because of us only. So we become the reason for all these problems. So all this abuse and everything can reduce if we become, that's what, as Guruji said, simple, thinking simple and living simple. Simple in the sense you don't have to stop eating, eat local, eat the right amount, don't waste. That itself is a big step towards stopping this abuse, stopping this encroachment. So keeping our soil fertile itself is a big step ahead. So if we stop using chemicals, go back to our old practices, then we are going to keep our soil fertile. We don't have to encroach on forest land to cultivate more. So if people in city, I think problem is the city dwellers. We actually, with this money in our hand, we think that we are consumers, and we refer to Gandhi also. He said consumer is the king, so we are the king. We will ask whatever we want, you give, grow and give.
Correct.
So that idea, that mentality is what is the problem. And as you said, if everyone becomes aware, everyone reflects inside, so there will be a solution to this problem.
Yeah, definitely. As you very well put, there is nothing much to add to it. It's very simple. That you should be confident that your small step makes a difference. That confidence should be there. And there is a saying in Chinese that if you want to scale even the mountain, Everest, your journey begins with the first step footing.
Yes.
So very small step if you take and you are confident that this is going to change the world. If you do this with this conviction, because it is changing me, I am changing it. Then what he is saying, just food habits you make correct. You will see the path on your road. Your awareness will increase that where all I can make the difference. And this will change the world.
As you said, being in the real.
Yes.
So we'll know the real problems, we'll know the real requirements, we'll know the reality of our requirements and our consumption on the environment, on the other animals, on the other things. I keep connecting everything to farming, because I learn all these things from farming only. Because in farming, everything is interrelated, just like the whole world. It's a small world. So many insects, everything is there. If I kill one insect, if I manipulate and do something with something else gets affected. So I have to be very careful, be aware, as you said, being in real, knowing the real things. Then only I should take one step, and then see if that step is right or wrong. So slowly I have to move forward, because there are 1,000 crores of forces acting along with us, which we don't know at all. So maybe spirituality will help us see all those things. If it helps us see all those things, we'll definitely lead a better life.
Yes.
The next question is from Meenakshi. Where do we draw the line between being modern, that is using technology, and being ecologically sensitive?
See, it is need-based. And needs and curtailing we have to learn. That certain things, wherever you are, in whichever habitat you are, where what you say, without this I can't do. This is very individual specific. I give one example. Suppose you make a natural soap and you are using a factory made soap. You say, I cannot afford natural soap or for whole my 1 month, because it costs more, because it is pure, then it should cost also. And if it is not costing, that means you cannot survive, make that economy powerful. So it should cost. And if you are using one soap, then you use one factory made soap and one handmade soap. So slowly you graduate towards your need, that someday you will be in a position to switch to completely to the natural, same soap. Then you use one factory made soap and one handmade soap. So slowly you graduate towards your need, that someday you will be in a position to switch to completely to the natural. Same way, technology only, these are examples. Today if you need, don't know, to make my call, at least I need a mobile phone. Yes, but as much use you think that this much will do my work, then don't use it for any other purpose. That control should be within you. So there cannot be drawn a line. But you becoming aware, you will become capable of drawing the line.
Awareness, I think, is the first step to anything.
Sarah is asking the next question. Nowadays, amassing material wealth is seen as prosperity, but it is coming at cost to nature. How to understand prosperity?
Prosperity is always nature. This is very good question and a very relevant question. So, this is whole problem is happening because the definition of the prosperity which we are giving today is not correct. See what has been described as, you see from your own experience, if your rivers are full with water, if your jungles are full with trees and fruit laden trees, your crops are bumper in your fields, everything around you is a green and good, that is prosperity. You will not think of anything else. So you have made your prosperity, how many laptops you have, how many lights you have, fancy lights you have. If that is your criteria, that this is called being prosperous, what is prosperous in it? Sampatti, that is the word, so that the what you can go with you. Sam means with you, patti comes from the falls with you. So something which is traveling with you all the time. So long as you are in a human frame, these are the things. You need panchabhutas. How bountiful they are around you, so that your body starts dancing just by walking, that oh, I am getting sufficient wind, I am getting everything, full sky, full sun, everything is full around me. So you feel wonderful about yourself, then you are sampanna. Same way the spirituality, then you said you are full with inside. So whatever you are doing, full, when you are full, then that what is doing by you outside, that will also result into the fullness. So first you should be happy and prosperous inside, and that will, then only you will see the real definition of the prosperity. So real definition of the prosperity is, in material terms I am saying, it is what all natural attributes which we call, those elements you have in plenty, that is prosperity. Even it is immaterial who is owning them, because you can't own the wind, you can't own the sky, you can't own the full, this creation, this land, Dhara. You say your name, this land is in your name, this is in your head. this belongs to nobody. You and I so many times come and go. This stays where it is. So this is, if this stays prosperous, that is the real prosperity. So change your definition of the prosperity and work for the real prosperity. Yes,
maybe that was manipulated also. I think that idea itself was manipulated to make people consume all these things more.
Yes.
So that was the basic idea behind consumerism.
Yes.
I think consumerism was developed because of an idea that natural resources are plenty and they can be plundered.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. So maybe they also did not know when all this started.
Yes.
Maybe now as we know, so we should, I think, put a full stop to it
So,
and start reading and looking back to ourselves.
Living with nature, how he has become so liberal that he is not even putting blame that they knowingly did it, because this was done out of greed. When you exploit, you know you are exploiting. When you are harnessing, see, we say dohan here, that this comes from the milking. You milk the nature, you do not exploit the nature. Like a cow, when the calf has taken sufficient, something you also get, and it is there. So that way, if you live with nature, it is bountiful. But when purposefully you are doing intentionally and then you cry foul later on, that should not be.
I recently heard something very interesting, that even trees produce sweeter, delicious fruits in order to propagate itself. So they are actually manipulating us. And we think that we are growing into like sweeter fruits. We are manipulating everything. They are using us. So as you said,
that's how spirituality connects there. That's how when you say this, that how everything is trying to convert itself, transform itself into Satyam Shivam Sundaram. That beautiful, the truthful, the eternal. The tree is evolving itself. Look how good I am.
Yes.
So that is how we say, no, that everything should become prasadam. And prasad is taken in small amounts. It is not taken that you eat till you burst. So moderation everywhere, need based, and that is.
After starting farming, even I have started saying that we have learnt everything from nature. We made a ship looking at the fish. We made an aeroplane looking at the bird.
Yes.
But we haven't learnt living from the animals and trees. You start learning from them, as you said. So when the tree is trying to become good, so we should start learning from it. It's wonderful.
The next question is from Ranjani. She says she's a big fan and has even taken a pic with you very long back when she saw you in Crossword. The question is, how do we ensure our bit into farming when we don't have land to cultivate? Is there some ways where apartment communities can do this?
You definitely can, because as again I'll connect this to Guruji's answer. I think that is an answer for every question. That is a solution for every question. That you definitely can, everybody can if you are aware. So being aware itself, you will find loads and hundreds of paths to do it. Just being aware is more than enough. Just to give an example, you can be an aware consumer. If you are consuming too many things, be aware. Look at what you are eating, why you are eating, where is this coming from. If you ask these questions, you will know where is it. Is it traveling too much a distance? Are you creating a lot of carbon footprint? You can ask all these questions to yourself. Eat local, live a simple life, eat simple, eat your local cuisine. Local cuisine in the sense the place you are living in. Nowadays there is no local, because you can't go back to your native village and start. You can't bring your native village here. If you have to bring it, it will cost a lot. Cost the environment a lot, cost the humanity a lot, cost the whole world a lot. So live simple, eat simple. So keep things simple. You can and about the apartment communities, you can do community gardens. You can have community fairs. You can contact your nearest village, buy whatever they grow. You will be supporting each other. It's not like supporting the villagers or your like Kannada Uttara ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಥರದ್ದಲ್ಲ. But it is a give and take. They grow a lot. They can't eat the whole thing. Yeah, they're growing for others also who can't grow, who don't know how to grow, who don't have the lands to grow. So, and you can have your terrace gardens and all those things. You can actually make a lot of, because nowadays even I've heard even the Prime Minister saying very proudly that we have manufactured maximum amount of fertilizers this year. It's a very wrong thing to do. You are acidifying and spoiling the whole soil, and again will be encroaching on forests to start farming. So you can actually, the waste that you generate, if you can make it into compost and just give it for free. The villages that you get your vegetables from, give it to that village. They'll not need to use it. Once they start using this compost, the food compost, the organic manure, they'll not look at the fertilizers at all. The produce will keep increasing every day, and the whole system, it will change. So you just have to work with them. There are hundreds of ways if you are aware. So the basic thing is to be aware. You are already aware, you will find your ways.
Correct, rightly put. Just if you want to make some difference, then first thing is you need conviction and determination. Because when you are doing something new, you should be ready to invest yourself a little extra.
The next question is from Pratyush Gautam on Facebook. Guruji, you talked about 16 forms of identities. What are those, and how do we know our current locus standi? Where do we stand?
That will require a very long answer, because yes, names can be told, and then all different traditions they have been told. But generally, five we all of us know. We say that this body, which is the physical body, you have Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanmaya Kosh, Anandamaya Kosh. Then these are the koshas. They end there. Then you become free person, and there are 11 more conditions. They become Atishayani, Viparinavami, like that, like this. Those are names only for you. So these you can find anywhere. But name, why I am giving it a light test, that it is useless to knowing the names. Until you first you experience everyone, physical, all of us experience. How much we are clear about our Manomaya Kosh. Beyond Manomaya Kosh, if you reach, you will automatically become spiritual. That you will see how the world is, how your nature of existence is. So one should begin with the spiritual journey, then only it will make sense. So these are the 16 conditions. They call them, as I said, Viparinavami, there is Prabhuvi, then there is Kuntani, Vikashni. And these are all, then you have a mistake. Ayaladni, Sankaladni, Paripurna, Swarupavasthit. These are all names, or in different way they have been told. But reality is that once you want to get to it, then you have to begin your journey. So that you become the evidence. Otherwise, they will stay as words only. So that is why generally we are very reluctant when somebody is asking such question. That what is the point? You add in your literature a few more words. But if you become evidence, then it makes sense. Because then when you become evidence, you become the point of spreading it to others. And everybody becomes happy. When you become happy, then only you can impart that wherever you go. So it should begin with the experience. And the experience, of course, when you have a person, you reach to somebody whom you find that there may be the light. Go and stay with him for some time. Ask your questions. Get fully satisfied. Today when you buy a 10 rupee thing, you look from all around and whether it is good or not. When you are going to hand over yourself, be very clear that no, this person satisfies me from all norms, and then you can begin the journey. Otherwise, you are free to do. Yeah.
The next question is from Rajiv Santanam to Kishorji. Since you're very familiar and famous in Tamil movies and to Tamil people, can we see you in educating farmers or start investing or spending more time about farming in Tamil Nadu?
The problem is, as I said, agriculture or farming is very local. So what I do here near Bangalore, I can't come and say that will be right for you to do. So you have to find your ways of doing things, and there are lots of people who will guide you. As Guruji rightly said, you find your gurus or whoever you want in your local community, local areas. Because in Tamil Nadu, Namarwar has done an amazing job. He's the one who started this as a big movement. He has actually converted barren lands into wonderful forests, food forests. So you have lots of guidance already available. So I am doing my job. That's all. I am doing what I think is right for me to do. I am doing. So this might actually provide you with some inspiration, because if I have succeeded in some few things, you will also be able to succeed in a few things. But I think this is the right thing for me to do. If you think that is the right thing, the farming is the right thing for you to do, you should definitely be doing it, and you will find ways. Nature will teach you ways if you start doing. If you want to plant trees, just go plant trees. Plant as much local trees as possible. Plant them. If nature accepts them, they'll grow. Otherwise, they'll die. So plant what remain. You can multiply them and you can plant them. And you will find a lot of literature nowadays. You will find a lot of videos also on YouTube and a lot of other things. And mainly the local knowledge, the local people. If there are any, if there are elders, you can definitely get a lot of knowledge from local knowledge, local traditions and local practices, which are almost lost because of the advancement of technology and science, what we think is science, and a lot of political intervention. But whatever is left, you have to grab onto it. And in Tamil Nadu, I think it has been documented in a lot of literature, in a lot of folk traditions. So you will find a lot of ways. I can't, actually, I'm from a very different culture. I'm there just for my livelihood. So I should not be corrupting the local language, the local culture. So you should be looking for your guidance from your place. Thank you.
Jeet has sent 3 questions. One to Kishorji. What made you to start the farmer's lifestyle? Is something struck you while you were in your core profession of being an actor? And how things have changed now? Do you still play dual role of actor-farmer together, or prefer to be with nature more?
Sorry, again, a filmy question. I was very romantic, as most of the city dwellers are. I wanted to be with nature. I somehow like being in nature. I used to trek and do all that. And I was in the forest. I felt more comfortable there. I don't know why. I don't know how. I haven't yet found the answers, the exact answers and definitions for all those things. But somehow I felt comfortable. That's why I wanted to be with nature. One of my friends actually got this land from me. He knew me well, and he just called me and said, You look at this land, you'll like it. So we had a forest on one side, water flowing from one side. It was next to a hillock. So all these things were there. So it was a very romantic idea to start with. That's how I started farming. After I started doing it, I slowly started realizing all these things that I am talking about, we are talking about. So it is a slow process. So it started off as something else. Nothing struck me or nothing. I never had a realization that this is the right thing to do. It slowly happened, and it happened by chance, and I am very happy that it happened. So it was just, maybe it was there from the beginning. Maybe I was more aligned to be working with nature. That's why I'm still juggling, because I think I'm in a profession, in a medium which is very powerful. Maybe you'll not agree with this, but still I'm trying to influence people with my ideology, which is, it might be wrong also, but I think as of now this is the right thing to do, and I'm doing it. And a lot of people get influenced and they jump into farming, leaving everything, and they think they can make a livelihood out of it. Yes, you definitely can make a livelihood out of it, and you can definitely live a very prosperous life, but not in terms of money. So if you are measuring everything with money and you're thinking, you're still in that mindset where you live in that money-centric world, it will be tough here. So I'm not creating a rosy picture. Yes, media might have created a rosy picture, but it's just a romantic picture that they have created and painted to you. It is going to be tough. You start your life as a farmer, but if you keep your needs to the minimum, like if you live there, if you do it, your needs and everything will slowly, gradually come down, and you will know how to live with nature, the proper way of living. So then you'll be fine doing it. Yeah, even I am the same. I've tread the same path. So nothing special about it. Just naturally, gradually happen.
Next two questions to Guruji. Guruji, namaste. My question is on the levels of opinions which each one of us have. In any group discussion or friends, WhatsApp chat rooms, a single topic becomes an argument. Now to avoid argument, if we start keeping mum, that is not right. And if you give your opinion, others start having perceptions about you. How should one respond?
First of all, one should get over from what my image other is having. It begins from that if you have made a statement, you start looking that this is, after having said that, this is the kind of image other person is going to have around me. So first you have to get over that sense of image. Don't get carried away by your image. Then there is something within your heart. More you do your sadhana, more you come to learn your heart's ways. There comes a point where it tells no more. So till that point only you should speak, and then you should keep mum. So for keeping mum also, the signal has to come from your heart. Till then it is okay. Certain writers, they have written, so many you will find. They say, when I am writing about something, suddenly heart says, no, not beyond. And mind says, no, this can be put this way, better way. This will create an impact. But true artist will put the pen down right there. This is no. Howsoever impact creating it could be, but it is not real. Heart has given signal, I have understood. Here and now I put my pen down. Same way with the conversation, you have to be real. To the extent your answer is, you need not convince anyone. You are not there to color people, because the moment this idea comes, the other should understand my point, wrong things happen. Just say your truths, and say to certain extent that so long that the boundary there is this, they are only told satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, ma bruyat, satyam priyam. Truth, speak the truth, but speak it with love. Satya, priya, but it should be lovely, it should not be harsh. So, first get over your image, what other is having, this in your idea, maybe other is not having because heart is moved by heart. If you are speaking truth, maybe he is not in a position to articulate but feeling the same vibration. So don't get by what the words are. reality, something else happened. That is how the world is. This is a very magic place where everything is ruled by heart, but we see it is being ruled by mind, and that is why the problems are there. Just listen to your heart, everything will fall, and experiment with it, because here the path is always of experimentation, not holding on to anything. Just experience in real life with your friends. That time I stopped it work, it was better. The temptation is within, that I will get convinced, somehow I will convince you. That should not be. Stop, just nothing, you are not going to lose anything. You will keep your peace.
In old days, we used to have politicians also. We have heard stories of politicians being thick friends in different parties, different ideologies. They used to argue but still be friends. They could look over it, they could stop when they wanted. Now we can't do that even in a small WhatsApp group. That's not happening. We are enemies.
That speaks where have become. So the ways Kishore is telling, that it is, if you come into the vicinity of nature, it will be tough, but it will be a journey worth doing. Because bodily we all have those limitations, and when you are in an attraction with the nature, something opens up in you.
We're close to ending time. The last question we'll take up. Guruji, you said I need to become my own evidence. This is very clear to me, but still, while going through this journey of spiritual path, every moment there are some or other hiccups that keeps coming through day-to-day activities I'm involved in. I'm not blaming others. I know it's me. How can I give my extra in that journey? Give some direction.
There is nothing extra. As much as prescribed, and even in prescribed also, as less you can do that, but do that regularly. That practice you have to do regularly, diligently, without any break, and you will feel. And as far as you are saying hiccups in world, if that is not there, then what are you here for? So all those things will be there. You have just only chosen the right way, which is giving you results, which is experienceable to you, which is telling you there is a phenomenon called truth, which is in fact truth. In reality, it is truth, because this is the limitation of the word. So when we are in a dialogue, we have to agree to at least one word, that we both will refer to this word, and whole world agrees on one word, that is called truth. Everybody's truth may be different, but they say truth. I am saying truth. I want to follow the truth. At least they have one word in common. The same way I am saying that what you are doing, do it diligently. Truly, it will open slowly you to yourself, that this outside world, despite being there, will not have much influence on you. Because when you become real, everything else becomes unreal for you. Until you are not real, then you are open to all kinds of things. So call it truth, call it self, call it real. The thing is same. That you have to come to see who you really are. And when to reach there, yes, practice is there. Yes, there is no shortcut. Regular practice, minimum at least. As much you can devise for yourself, this much I can do it regularly, it will open.
Thank you, Guruji, and thank you, Sri Kishore for this inspiring Upanishad. Thank you, audience. Do share your feedback via Facebook chat. We are sharing the links to our Facebook and YouTube page. Do subscribe to the channel. The recording of this session will be available on these channels. Thank you.